They said I'm not my father. They said I couldn't build a business. I guess they were right. But there's one thing that I have that they don't. So, welcome back to the craziest car manufacturer in the whole automation industry, and we're now going into the 80s. We're at the verge of bankruptcy. You've seen it in the last episodes. We already had to take out like up to 10 of these bailout loans that you're getting from the bank when your bank account hits the minus, which made us now into a situation where we pay 30 to 50 million minus per month. So we're very struggling right now and just trying to squeeze out as much money as we can with a couple of facelifts and checking our prices and whatnot and trying to fit the correct factory size to the correct demand. But it's really, really complicated because we have 10 car models or platforms at the same time. Now on top of that, we are already obviously in the luxury and race markets, since all of our engines are race engines and sporty engines. But since we already have a market presence, the only thing we can do to make more money with the infrastructure and the marketing we have is to go into the city market and into the commuter market, because these are the markets where we're not making any sales currently, and delivery. So we designed a city car in the last episode that you can see right here, and it completely failed. The demand is super low because it's not reliable enough. And so we made two versions of this in the end and tried to wait for the correct time to engineer it, because it costs too much money and the loan to take out for the engineering is also not helping us with the already absurdly high costs we have. So that we're doing it right now. And as you can think, it's really flopping. It's just put another big hole into our already bigger holes in our pockets. And yeah, it's not looking very well, because we're going on to the 80s, and that means we're gonna also have to develop a couple of race cars. We're gonna have to finish Group B, we're gonna have Group 2 coming up, touring cars, then GTO, muscle cars, and then DTM in the early 90s with the Group A cars. So we gotta have to prepare our cars here and also finish the current Group B rally. So let's have a look and see how we performed with our previous rally car that now has gotten a facelift with the Turbo Boxer 6, and let's see how it performs. So part 2 of our rally was absolutely crazy. Now the best three of last event progressed into this one, and we have the Akana car with a very lightweight car, but a crazy V8 that they're always kind of produced, since they always have the same engine and it's like 30 years old. Pretty similar to our situation. But we're using the Boxer 6 Turbo and in this car right now. We also have Adderall in the Boxer 4, always with the super lightweight approach. So complete different philosophies here. And we have the heaviest car, but all-wheel drive. And the Akacia Akana car with the communist steel meme was super hard to catch. So that's the red one on the front, super fast, very drifty in corners, but perfect for Group B. Lots of power from the V8. And even though it's rear-wheel drive, very hard to overtake. So it was an amazing race, and our AI car showed for the first time that it isn't all that, especially because we really only won last event because we knew where the tulips went and not just sheer power. So very interesting. So let's see if we can beat the communist Arcan steel or the Fuenian lightweight design.
Fight!
So yeah, that was a super exciting race. It was super short, and actually it was part of 2 mini races. We did 2 mini rallies, the big one before in Utah, now 2 mini events on that map, and one of them, we have to admit that, was won by our communist friends, by the Acacia driver and the little red car. And the second one, BeamNG Industries won. But only in a small margin. If we had more laps, he might have won. But I must say, the AI car that we made 2 episodes ago was pretty good. It wasn't all that bad. So now it's time to go back to business. Hopefully the success in the Group B rallies will increase our sales, since we don't have any more money left over, as you can see. Down to our last 20 million again. So now it's time for a little facelift again for the Aero car. Now this is the one where we have 2 versions previously, a fuel efficient one and a very sporty one. But now in this facelift we're just gonna sell the fuel efficient one because we don't have the money for the big engine, and it's just easier to have one engine in both cars for us currently. And the sales are just as good, because even our fuel efficient V8 still makes 200 horsepower, while at the same time you can drive this kilometer with 30 miles per gallon, or 7 liters on 100 kilometers. Now that, for a car that goes to 100 kilometers per hour in the first gear and does so in less than 6 seconds, is pretty damn good, right? So this accelerates to 105 seconds and you can still drive it as your daily, right? Pretty good reliability, very good fuel efficiency, and sporty. So it's our entry-level sports car, and hopefully something that will continue to make us a bit of money, because it's one of the few cars that brings in money where it costs us. Just because I think the factories are paid off. That's always a big problem with seeing, does this product make money or not, because the costs that are involved for the product, like the factory, are accumulated. So maybe it says you make minus 10 million, but the overall product makes a lot of money when it's just the factory that you're paying off. So if you have 10 platforms of cars and you're playing this blind for the first time, it's very hard sometimes to figure out where the costs coming from and whatnot. So, project sign off. It's always a question with a loan, but if you only have credit standing, credit score of F, it's not really a point taking out the loan, because they just kill you faster than they're giving you money at that point. So there you go. Once again, another one of those lovely bailout loans that we just received. Cash balance went below 0. So now our city car has completed engineering, and it makes us a little bit of money actually, since we're selling off the pre-orders. But now it's already down to minus 6.5 million. So once again, we're losing money producing this after the first months already. So it's really a big flop and a big failure, and it's putting us in a very bad situation here. So yeah, and flip over, and it's another cash loan that we got now. It's a little bit more, 120 million. So it seems like the cash balance loans, or like bailout loans that you get, are getting higher and higher. Probably since the monthly payoff thing that we have to pay is getting worse and worse. But at the same time, it's interesting, we're not getting the bankruptcy thing, and one of the problems is that we're overproducing certain cars, hence we have a lot of money that we're paying in factory and resources and whatnot. And also then again, cars we can sell off because we have too many of them, and so we can sell off some cars and get us a little cushion. But now, it's 2 important things. The new Sage has been now fully accepted. We're making a lot of money with that car, and a lot of sales. And we have the new fuel efficient Aero, and we have the brand new Malibu 400.
With the Malibu, every rev brings passion straight to your doorstep.
So the Malibu has the brand new high revving V8 that makes 400 horsepower stock, or up to 400 horsepower, actually with a better exhaust. The customer can tune that thing up to 600 horsepower without even having to change anything internally. Maybe a little bit of cams, but other than that, pretty easy to tune to like 600, but it does 400 horsepower stock. And we will gonna use it in the coming GTO race, and the Sage Group 2, which has released and makes us a lot of money right now, will be used in the Group 2 racing. That car stocked with the Turbo Boxer 6, but will be getting a V12 soon because it's our like luxurious model. So now let's have a check about the fuel efficient aero car and the brand new Sage, how they're performing. Sorry, the Malibu 400.
Hours later.
So yeah guys, you gotta bear with me here. This car is completely stock. I didn't change the suspension nor the tires in the sandbox for this. It was just straight out of campaign. So it doesn't handle very well and it's quite hard to control with the oversteer. But this is just our fuel efficient V8 with 200 horsepower and this is a lot of fun. I think personally one of the coolest cars I've ever built because it's really just a result from the campaign, but it has so much character. You can go 0 to 105 seconds in the 80s with this, and it's a cheap car that you can buy for, I don't know, 15 to 20 grand what we're selling this for. And at the same time it's an entry level for Widowmaker Industries, and you have a lot of power and you can still drive it with 7 liters on 100 kilometers, or 30 miles per gallon. So it's pretty cool. So the cool thing here is that the Malibu has the same family engine. So it's also the V8, and bear with me here because I'm driving automatic in BeamNG for the first time. Mind you, I just bought BeamNG together with automation. I'm playing both pretty much blind. And the cool thing is same block, same family, everything. This is just the high rev sport version that makes 370 horsepower, almost 400. And once again, suspension, everything, there's no aero on this, there's no tires upgraded and whatnot. This is all just stock from campaign, so it's pretty unoptimized. But it drives pretty damn good, and it will make a great GTO car, because if it drives okay out of campaign, then it's gonna drive amazing once we optimize this in sandbox with a couple of spoilers and whatnot. So the motorsport campaigns are looking pretty promising for Widowmaker Industries. Now the problem is the bank account doesn't, sorry, excuse me. Too many exhaust fumes on the Malibu. But yeah, you know, all we can do is facelifting what we have, trying to appeal a little bit more to the customers, trying to get it green. But it's not that easy because, yeah, I assume it's a reliability problem. The engines are just too sporty for some of these niches, and especially the Frinian market, which is the main market for us, doesn't like the big engines, the big fuel consumption and whatnot. That's why the aero fuel efficient goes quite well. A lot of these other cars don't. So the idea would be to maybe make another car, once again in the luxury department, because our Fly pimp car that we've been selling since the 50s, so for over 25 years now, is obviously not as much in demand anymore. We already have the factory, and we do have a little bit of money right now from selling a lot of these extra cars that we built and one of these many bailout loans. So we might be able to use the marketing that we already have in luxury, and the customers that we have in that niche, plus the factory that we already have, and the engines that we already have that are pretty new right now from the late 70s, to make a new luxury car. But we'll see about that next episode.
Are you the guy who made the Widowmaker?
I'm gonna use it as my intro. So.